Hola clase y bienvenidos. Welcome to the class. This will help you become familiar with the book. All right, I'm going to log in and show you how the textbook works. I'm going to pretend to be a student. Here we go. First, make sure you have access to both the textbook and the cuaderno, the workbook. If you do, then you're okay. All right, but you will need both. If we go to the book, you will see many things here. But first, you have access to both the cuaderno and the textbook, no matter where you click after you log in. Let's go to the first chapter that you have to see. Is paso A. Every chapter is divided into actividades de comunicación, vocabulario, and gramática y ejercicios. If you scroll down here, you can see that too. Every chapter starts with a little introduction, and it features some artist from the country it talks about. In this case, it's Panama. And down here, you can see the actividades de comunicación, just like here, and the gramática y ejercicios. But the first thing that I recommend, my number one recommendation, is that you go to the vocabulario in each chapter before you start reviewing the grammar. And you study this vocabulario. It's very important that you are familiar, that you become familiar with the vocabulario of a given chapter, because otherwise you will be completely lost. ¿De acuerdo? So find a method that works for you, either flashcards or writing down the words or saying them out loud or listening to them, and make sure that you know your vocabulario really well before you start the grammar. For example, here you can
Paso A. Vocabulario. Las preguntas y las respuestas.
Okay, so as you can see, you can listen to the words being pronounced in each section, and that helps a lot of you. Bueno, next, let's go to the gramática y ejercicios. You can access them here, or you can go down here. We're going to start with naming and describing the verbs llamarse and llevar. So, instead of really long grammar explanations, the grammar is explained briefly in each chapter. A couple of grammar exercises are then assigned to test your comprehension. So here you go, and after reading the grammar, you complete the exercises. There's usually not more than one or two exercises associated with each grammar point. So it's important that you read the grammar explanation, all of it, and then test your comprehension of it by clicking here and here, by doing the exercises, okay? Next, you go to actividades de comunicación. Actividades de comunicación are very important because this is where the textbook will show you how the grammar is used in context. You will be asked to do dialogues with a partner, like for example here, in which you have to find a partner and work together to record these dialogues. But the most important thing here is to see how the grammar, for example, naming and describing, are used in context. ¿Cómo se llama el amigo de? You can see it means what's the name of el amigo de Esteban? Well, of Esteban's friend, for example. There's some help here on how to find a partner. It's very simple. You just agree to be online at a certain time, and then you record the activities together. All right? Every actividad de comunicación is related to a grammar point. You can see it over here. Oops. You can see it on this bar over here. So if you're not sure what you're supposed to do, you can't remember the grammar, always check it. You don't have to guess what it is that they're asking you to do. Okay? Los colores over here. ¿De qué colores? If you can't remember the meaning of this sentence, go to the gramática or go to the vocabulario and it will be there. Everything is tied together. Next, let's go to the cuaderno. In the cuaderno, you can see the actividades escritas, written activities. And here it also tells you where to go if you are lost, if you can't remember what grammar point you studied that you need to complete these activities, then you go to la gramática indicated here. Los saludos, los colores y la ropa, and so on. Okay, so this is, perdón, this is important. There will be listening activities in which you have to play an audio and then listen to the activities. Now, when you submit something, it will ask you, right? It will tell you if you have more attempts or if it's late. You can click to make it your final attempt and then you can see the correct answers. Okay? You can also review the information presented in the section by going to the textbook, right? ¿Cómo se llama? Some of these exercises are instructor only graded. So you won't get an immediate response, immediate feedback, but I will get to it as soon as possible, usually by the next day or the day after. Finally, if you go to My Tools here, you can see your results and your submissions. A lot of students ask me, hey, I submitted something and I can't see the results, or the page is blank again. Well, the thing is, you have 3 attempts per exercise. So if you haven't exhausted all your attempts, the book wants you to keep trying unless you click to make it your final attempt, okay? But you can see your submissions here, right? If you go to My Tools and Results, you can see by selecting the textbook or the workbook and the section, you can see what you've done. So let's select Paso A, for example, see what I have done. All right. So this is what I have done. I am a very bad student. If you see a little icon like this, it's because I have left a comment, okay? So you can click on that, enlarge it, and it says, please remember that it's me llamo and never me llama, right? Because I wrote over here this, which doesn't make sense. But a common mistake is to say me llama. ¿Cómo se llama usted? Me llama Esteban Brown. So this is a comment that I usually make for students. Okay. Another way to know what to do is to go to the calendar and you can see what assignments are due. The problem with accessing the assignments this way is that if you click on them, for example, you are a little bit lost. You're just thrown into the assignment. Whereas if you go to the textbook, right, and you go here, you know that this exercise is related to this grammar point. So that way you know what to do. You know what is expected of you. So I suggest that you always access the exercises this way by clicking on the left-hand side or going to the main page of the chapter and clicking on the relevant grammar point. Okay? I think that's it. If you have any questions about the textbook or the cuaderno, please let me know. I'll be happy to answer them. Buena suerte. Good luck.